Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt. Welcome to the Brit Workshop and this workshop notes video. Now in this video I'm covering 3 bits of new kit. I'm also going to show you how to fit a new dust port onto a Festool TS55 track saw. And I'm then going to give you a quick rundown on other work that I'm doing, which may lead to videos in the not too distant future. Now, not so very long ago, my friend Peter Sefton, who runs the Woodworkers Workshop here in the UK, sent me a sample of a new type of chisel guard, and he sent it free of charge, and I had a look at it, and I was going to mention it in a previous workshop notes video, but actually I was so impressed by this that I've actually bought a set myself, and the only concession that I received was that my friend didn't charge me the postage. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about them. Now, these are made of silicone rubber, and my first thought when I saw this one was, if it's made of this silicone compound, then maybe by pressing against it, the chisel would eventually go through it. But I've had a jolly good attempt with this one, and I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I went ahead and ordered the complete set. I'll put the details on the screen so you can see just how much they cost, and in here there are 10 altogether, and there are sizes which will fit anyone with a general range of normal chisels. So it's 10 chisel guards in the set, and I like the fact that it's a really bright colour because it does sort of highlight the business end, the very sharp end of a chisel, and I think that's really good. And the other point is that they do stay on. You've got to actually make a positive effort to remove them. The only thing I would caution is that you do need to take some care when you are putting them in, because you have to use a slightly different action. And the action I would recommend is that you start the chisel off like so, and then bring your hands in from the side like that. But that's the method I recommend. And I'm really pleased with those. They do stay on. There's my really expensive Veritas chisel being dangled by the end there. So I'm very, very pleased. Now, I actually feel quite guilty about this because I went to a show and I was at the Bessie stand, and I was given as a sample a pair of snips. And I thought, well, I'll give them a try. If they're any good, I'll include them in a video. I've actually had these for nearly a year, and I completely forgot all about them until the other day. I needed to use them, and I suddenly remembered that I'd never mentioned them before in a video. Anyway, they're made by Bessie. I'll put the details on the screen, and they're good to cut just about any material, including steel, up to 22 gauge. Now, I've not got any steel, I've got some plastic, but I'll just show you how easy it is to use these for cutting things up. Very easy for a bit of plastic. And I've got here an old brass mirror hook thing. Now I'm going to cut this and just show you how easy it is to cut that as well. So it is good for some quite reasonable tasks, and they're hardened steel edges here, so they're going to last a while. Got a nice little safety catch there, and I quite like them. Now, I was at Axments the other day buying all sorts of things, and one thing that caught my eye was this little set of bits, screwdriver bits. Now, you may think, oh well, there's nothing very special about that, but actually there is. With this little set, and there's 28 pieces altogether, you get 2 bit holders. Now, one bit holder is the type which has the spring release mechanism there, and the other bit holder is the one that perhaps we're more familiar with, where you just push the bit in, and both of these have got magnetic ends in them. But what really impressed me was that these have Centratec fittings, and so you can put it in your Centratec drill driver, and then that's absolutely secure, and it gets released very easily. Now, I think that's a really good way forward, and it's worth it to get this set just to have those 2 items. Now, you may have noticed I've got quite a lot of wood here, which I've machined up. It's actually all cut to length, ready for a project which I'll be starting in the next few weeks. And I will be videoing this project. It's a pair of small chests of drawers, one fairly low and the other one a little bit higher. And the idea is that someone will put a lamp on top, but there'll be drawers underneath, which would be quite nice. And it's all going to be made out of oak, and I've got some more oak dotted around the workshop, which I've yet to machine up. That's some French oak. Incidentally, I bought that from Timber Source. Now, you can go online now, and this I find really, really useful, and you can order wood to be delivered online through Timber Source. Now, I find this ordering process really easy because I'm busy, I can't get away, they're a long way from me anyway, and so doing it over the internet for a little premium for the delivery charge, I think is well worth it. And I am making one video which will be not part of the series about the build of the cabinets, but it will be about how I start with rough sawn stock and then machine it down into the component parts that you see here. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen those sort of woodworking clamps which operate like this. I've never actually owned one before, but someone a long, long time ago asked me if I would show how to make one, and so I've finally got round to doing it. These things, once you know how to go about making them, they're reasonably easy, and they can be quite useful, certainly cheap and cheerful clamps, to save you spending a huge amount of money. So I'm in the process of making a video about this. The video is nearly finished, and hopefully that will come out in the next week or two as well. And I think this has probably cost me about £4 to make this one clamp. And if you're making a set, then the price would come down just a little bit. Now, it wasn't so very long ago that I did a bit of veneering again, and having had a break from it for many, many years. And I was using some rather nice figured maple veneer and putting it onto a hardwood backing. And that was done with my music cabinet and the associated piano stool which went with it. And I was chatting to the people of Axminster about veneering, and they said, oh, we'll let you borrow a veneer press. And I thought, well, I can't get one of those in the back of a car. But actually it's a vacuum press, and I've got the kit here, and basically it consists of a bag. And I said, well, I don't have a vacuum pump. Are you going to lend me one of those? They said, oh, you don't need to, because with this arrangement, it's got a valve and a bit of tubing. You use your compressor. I've not tried it out yet, but I will be making a video, provided, of course, I'm able to recommend it to you. If not, you won't see a video. But anyway, I'm going to give it a try. That's probably about another couple of months away, and I'm going to maybe use it. I'll show people how to make a veneered box or something like that. Now, a lot of us fathers, grandfathers, and actually son-in-laws find ourselves having to put tools in the back of the car to go and help someone out. And I'm doing it all the time. And I thought, well, it's about time I treated myself to a nice workbox to put some of the bits and pieces in. So I've got this, made by Festool, came from Axminster, and what impressed me was that if you take this drill, Festool drill, it's the PDC 18 Bleak 4, when you put it in there, it's below the surface. Now, if you had another toolbox of this family, then that would be stackable, and that drill wouldn't get in the way. And I'll be making some inserts for this to hold, screwdrivers and pliers and things like that. That'll be a video on its own, I think, or this will be a video about storage solutions in general. I don't know yet. And so you'll see more of all of this at a later stage. Now, the final thing I want to mention is my TS55 saw. Now, it's a great saw. I wouldn't part with it for the world. But one of the slightly annoying things is that this hose port here, which is free moving, is just a little bit too free, and you might try and get the hose in a particular position to do a cut, and then this moves around and the hose might drag across the workpiece or whatever. And someone said to me, oh, well, you realise there is a solution for that, and Festool have now got this little port which has, I don't know if you can hear it, it's got this sort of, not quite a ratcheting, but a sort of a detent which allows it to go into various positions. And this is something you can retrofit onto your track saw. And I think it goes across the whole range of track saws that they do. Anyway, I'm now going to fit it, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to do. I will put it on the screen, but the Festool part number for this is 202096. And there are instructions that come with it, which, as far as I can see, are absolute simplicity. And the first thing to do is to separate the two parts that come with the kit. And there's this part and that part. So I've taken that away because it's this part that we're going to fit first to the saw. In order to do that, you need a little Torx bit. And I've taken it out of this set from Axminster, of course. I might as well use it for the first time. And I'll pop that in my drill driver, so that's in there securely. And there are just 5 screws on this cover plate here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I'm going to loosen those off now. And I really do like magnetic bit holders, particularly when you drop something on the floor, and rather than having to get all the way down, you can actually put your drill down there and it'll get attached to it. Now, I've never taken this cover off before, so there's a good chance when I do this it's going to be full of dust and stuff. Well, I do apologise in advance for that, and I suspect that I'll have to give it a little vacuum. Right, so there we go. Those are all those bits away, and now this plate comes off. Oh, it's not dirty at all. I suppose that typical Festool, it works so efficiently. And as I pulled it out, so this bit dropped out, and that now allows me to put this piece in its place. If you look closely, you can see a little lug there. There's another one just there. And on this piece here, there's a little lug just there. And if you look at the piece of black plastic, there's a little indent there, there and there. So 3 indents. So you've got to line those up, and it's hardly rocket science. I thought it a good idea just to give this a little brush. Mr. Festool would be very proud of me. And anyway, so that piece is in, the 2 lugs are in those little detents, and I'm now going to put this in place. That goes over like so. And then I'm going to start putting these screws back in. Right, so that's now securely in place. So I can now take this part, and that screws on in a sort of bayonet type fitting, like so. And then this part, then I can feel it clicking around. And that is certainly more positive, it's stiffer to move than the previous arrangement. The previous one just sort of wandered around really with a will of its own. But I hope now that that will be just that little bit better. Now, as a passing shot, let me just mention this little bench vise which I've made. The video's up there and the plans are available free of charge. I'm actually using this a lot, and some of my videos that are coming out over the coming months, you're going to see me using this in many of them. So it works, even if I say so myself. It's quite good. So that's it. I've brought you up to date with everything in the new Brit workshop, and I've also been able to show you some new bits of kit that I've bought, and also given you an idea of what's coming up in a not too distant future. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.